Joe Biden finally has a primary victory. The former vice president scored a decisive landslide win in South Carolina with 48% of the vote. Bernie Sanders came in second with 20%. Tom Steyer placed third and then ended his campaign for president. Pete Buttigieg came in fourth place, followed by Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar at just 3%. Earlier this morning, I spoke with Senator Klobuchar, who was campaigning in Charlotte, North Carolina. And joining us right now is presidential candidate Senator Amy Klobuchar. Senator, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Well, thanks, Esme. I'm looking forward to coming home tonight. We're going to have a big event in St. Louis Park at the high school at 7:15, doors open. So it'll be great to be back.
You've said a number of times on the campaign trail that this campaign, your campaign, has exceeded all expectations. Last night, though, not a great night, and there's already open speculation about some candidates possibly dropping out. Do you have any plans to drop out before or after Super Tuesday?
No, a third of America hasn't voted yet, and they're going to be able to vote on Super Tuesday. States like Minnesota, states like Colorado, and right now only 3% of people have actually voted, and I am still in the top 5 vote getters for the country, and I think that matters. I think it matters that we give people a chance to vote. And as we know, I pulled out a surprise in New Hampshire. And I think you're going to see me doing well. Minnesota is key. It's really between me and Senator Sanders. The other candidates in the race really aren't close to our numbers, and so that's why I'm encouraging my supporters and people to get out and vote because it's Super Tuesday on Tuesday, and we need them to vote.
Well, let me ask you about your record in Minnesota has been extraordinary. You have some of the highest vote totals ever recorded in Minnesota history. Are you going to beat Bernie Sanders on Tuesday? Because the polling shows he's doing very well. And 4 years ago, he crushed Hillary Clinton.
Well, that's correct. But number one, that was in a caucus. This is a primary. Number two, the last 2 polls that I've seen had me running 10 points ahead of him in the state of Minnesota. And I think it's really important. There's going to be different winners in different states on Super Tuesday. And Minnesota, of course, is key to me. And I think it's very important that people see there's 2 tracks here. I think that my brand of politics, bold ideas, but ideas that bring people with me. The coalition I've built in Minnesota, where I have won in rural areas and in suburban, as well as with high voter turnouts in urban, is key to beating Donald Trump. And that's the message I've taken across the country.
Let's go talk about your record as county attorney. When you were county attorney here, you were extremely popular, so much so you really didn't have an opponent when you ran for re-election. Yet your record has become a focus of even controversy and debate in the presidential race. Does that surprise you?
No, because when you're running for president, people look at everything in your life, and that's just to be expected. And in this case, I am proud of the work that we did in the county attorney's office, and we responded to a lot of community concerns and did a lot of good work, and I'm proud of our staff there. Obviously, people go back and look at things, and individual cases, they're going to do that, and I will say I am always on the side of justice. So if new evidence comes out on a case, or if old evidence should be reviewed, the county attorney's office should review it. When I was there, I worked hand in hand with the Innocence Project. We did a DNA review of cases that had DNA to make sure the results were right. We did a new form of eyewitness identification, pioneered that, working with the Innocence Project to reduce false identifications. And then I actually went around the country and advocated for videotape interrogations because I think that they ensure justice. And I've continued that work in the Senate to lower sentences for nonviolent offenders. And as president, I would do the same thing.
Senator Klobuchar, there are going to be protesters outside your rally at St. Louis Park High School tonight, supporters of Mayan Burrell. What would you tell those protesters?
Just that I am on the side of justice, and I know that there was reporting on some new evidence in the case, potential new evidence, and I asked the county attorney's office, while I don't work there anymore, to review that evidence, and they have said that they will. And that is how the justice system works. And I think it's really, really important that old evidence and new evidence be reviewed very carefully in the case.
Governor Tim Walz said in an interview late last week that you were the antidote to the drama and division in our political scene today. Has it been difficult at times to cut through the drama in the presidential race?
Well, of course it has, because people just are constantly attacking each other on that debate stage. And what I said, I meant in the last debate. If we spend the next 4 months tearing our party apart, we're going to spend the next 4 years continuing to watch Donald Trump tear this country apart. And that is why I have really uniquely tried to focus on the issues, on answering the questions. And while I have major disagreements with Senator Sanders, I've kept it on policy and not made it personal. I think that's really important, because what unites our country is so much bigger than what divides us. And the heart of our country is so much bigger than the heart of the guy in the White House right now. And when I'm president, no more mean tweets, respecting people that don't always agree with you, looking for common ground. It'll be a whole new world, and getting things done. That's what people in Minnesota want. That's what people in our country want.
Well, Senator Klobuchar, thank you so much for your time, and we will see you back in Minnesota tonight.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Esme.